How's it going and welcome to The Guitar Effect. My name's Rob. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at a 1968, an original 1968 Gibson 330. But before I do, I'll ask please like and subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you'll be kept up to date every time I put out a new video. Housekeeping done. Right, here it is. This is a 68 original, trying to maneuver in the camera, 68 original 330. So a 330 is a fully hollow 335 size body with P90s, in this case dog ear P90s, in every case dog ear P90s, and in this case it came stock with a Bigsby. This is my first ever time having any sort of length of time with a vintage guitar of any sort, specifically something as desirable as a vintage Gibson. So as well as being a video about the 330, this for me is a video about like the experience of playing a really valuable, this is an €8,000 plus worth of guitar. I've never even held anything. I once played I once played a Strat that was worth 25 grand once for about 10 minutes. This is my time spending any sort of time with a vintage instrument. And it's a really interesting experience. You know what my overriding thought about this is? I want this gone from my house. It belongs to a very good friend of mine. I want it gone from my house because it's just too valuable with my kids around. Now, it's in its hard case all the time, but I think as not a guitar player, I'm more of a songwriter and, for want of a better word, I suppose, a producer. I'm not into like really expensive guitars. I'm not into really desirable guitars. I love the sound of this, but I don't know if I would ever own something this valuable. So what I'm going to do is throw a few pictures of it up on screen and talk to the specs now. So here you go. Okay, so the body is finished in cherry. It's made of maple. Both the body and the top are both made of maple, and the finish is nitrocellulose. The neck is made of mahogany. It's got a 12-inch radius. It's got 22 medium jumbo frets. I'm not sure about that, the frets, because they may have been a refret at some point. It's got small block, beautiful inlays. It's got a 1.69 inch nut that's made of nylon. The scale length is 24.75 and the profile is C-shape. It's got two original P90s, a three-way toggle, 2 volume, 2 tone controls. The tuners are 3 on a side, Clusons. The bridge is an ABR1 bridge. The pickguard is black 5-ply. The control knobs are black top witch hats. And the hardware finish is chrome. I've really enjoyed playing this. And I think that it's been a real wonderful opportunity for me to play guitar, this value and this heritage and stuff. And one other thing I haven't mentioned so far is there's a really amazing smell of it. Which is something I've never experienced with guitar before, and it smells really old. And it's the smell of it is so potent, not in a bad way or anything. But when I have this out of the case in this small little room that I have where I make my videos, the smell of it actually sort of is in the room when you walk into the room. It smells like quite strangely, it smells like a really old house. It smells of old wood, and it's a really pronounced smell that comes off it. It's a lovely smell, it smells like old, patinaed, vintage stuff. It's also unbelievably mint, which is the other reason I've been so afraid of having it in my house. Even the fact that the chair that I use has arms on it, I've been really scared about banging it off the arms, putting any sort of mark on it at all, which I would never have with a guitar. For me, they're tools. This isn't a tool, this is a collectible thing, and it makes me very uncomfortable to have it around for fear of it being damaged. But yeah, really beautiful guitar. So let's have a listen to it now. Here you go. Okay, so to demo the 330, I have an entirely new guitar rig. I have picked up the 2 Notes Revolt as a effectively home amplifier, right? So it's a tube preamp that has a Bassman, Plexi, and a Soldano kind of sound on it, and it's all analog with an analog speaker emulation going into the back of my Focusrite Scarlett 6x6 interface, and that's my guitar rig. I have the Line 6 M5 for reverb and delay in the loop of the Revolt. I just got the Revolt, so I'm still learning it. kind of finding out where its tones are and stuff. And I'll be making another video about it soon. So what I'm going to do is just go through a few different tones in this. And it's an interesting thing making this particular demo, because I'm sort of demoing the sound of a 330, but I'm also demoing like the playing experience of my first ever time playing a vintage guitar, certainly a vintage Gibson. So there's a lot of new ground from here. There's a new amplifier. There's I've played a Epiphone Casino Coupe, which is a very similar guitar actually, and very similar sounding guitar to this a few times, but I'm not a vintage enthusiast, like I said, so the nuance of this might be lost on me slightly, but I'll tell you what my experience of it is anyway. So starting with the neck pickup. The 330, first of all, what I'm playing right now is a P90 in the neck position. Even at that, a dog ear P90, which I think sound boomier, more low end than even a regular soap bar P90M. So it sounds boomy, it sounds super airy because it's completely hollow. Woolly, really, kind of to a certain extent. Not as much top end as you might expect from a P90. But then when you dig in, it sort of comes to life a little bit. Like you can hear the top end there. It's important, in my opinion, to stress here, I love the look of this guitar. I personally would prefer if, like I said, if it had black pickup covers, but the look of this guitar is absolutely beautiful. I feel like I'm holding something special in terms of its provenance or its sort of history or whatever you want to say. Like, I'm definitely holding an expensive, special guitar. Am I necessarily going, this is the best guitar playing experience of my life? No, I'm not. This is the best sounding guitar I've ever played. No, it's a different thing and it's a special thing, but I'm not going, only vintage guitars will do from now on. Now maybe that's because this isn't specifically the vintage guitar that I would typically want, but I'm not blown away. I'm not judging it differently because of the fact that it's a vintage guitar. One thing it does sound really good for is something that was actually played on a Gibson semi-hollow guitar or fully hollow guitar with P90s, which is this James May thing. This. Let's play that slightly wrong, but if I change this to a delay here for a sec. Here we go. It's a lovely tone for that. It's got a nice, like, nice sort of singer-songwriter neck pickup sound that has loads of authority but loads of air, which is the way I'd say it. quite nice. So then if I switch to the back pickup clean. Now, I don't know whether this is an EQ thing, but there's a massive volume drop off for me there. And because these dog ear P90s are dog ear P90s, you can't raise and lower them, you have to shim them to up and down them. The back, the middle. It's fine. Now, so turning off the delay, I'm actually going to put it back to some reverb. So going on to a gain sound and moving on to the plexi sound on the Revolt here. Give me a second, I'm just going to tune. This is also not the easiest guitar to either get perfectly in tune or keep perfectly in tune, I have to say. Vintage, I think they're kind of known for that, right? Pretty pleasing sound. Very different to a humbuck. Rolling the volume back. Starting to sound a little bit special to me now. It's like a gnarly mid-range or top end that's coming off that's really kind of inspirational to play. Yeah, that's cool guitar. So, it's funny. Neck pickup on the particular clean amplifier I was playing was nice. But there's something now that's giving me a lot more in terms of personality and sound and stuff out of this. On the bridge pickup on a kind of a plexi kind of sound, it's really sounding quite lovely. Neck pickup now on a dirty sound. Not really for me, I don't think. Yeah, it's lovely. off on the bridge pickup. Wow, yeah, like again, like less toppy. It's really dynamic as well in terms of how hard you hit it. So then, moving on to the soldano high gain sound. It's just not a guitar you would reach for in a high gain situation, I don't think, especially not live, because it's got no center block and it's going to feed like anything. Yeah, like, does it fine. Not a guitar I'd reach for that. I think rocky kind of stuff. So, all in all, very enjoyable playing experience. It does certain sounds, vintage kind of sounds, really, really, really well. I don't know that I'm a person who can be sort of won over by the fact that a guitar is vintage. I'd love a 330, I just wouldn't necessarily want to spend mad money on a vintage one. If I tried a 335 or a Telly, that might be different. This is an amazing guitar, and it's a beautiful, like rare, beautiful thing, and it's a lovely thing to own, but I'd just as soon have a Gibson 330. There's nothing about it, you know, that's markedly better, as I remember, than the one I played that was a custom shop recent one. Very cool guitar though. So there you go. A 1968, I remember when Dan, the guitar player that owns it, gave it to me. I thought for the entire time he had this, it was like a custom shop. And I went, so yeah, it's like modeled after a 68. And he goes, no, it's an actual 68. I was like, that's just amazing. So yeah, a really beautiful thing. Like, it's a beautiful thing. Does this immediately make me feel like it's a more amazing and beautiful playing experience than like a custom shop, or even just a straight up Gibson 330? I played a Gibson 330 once. I think it was custom shop. It was a black one. Didn't have the Bigsby on it, I don't think. And I thought it was an amazing guitar. Absolutely, like, blown away by it. I think this is the same, but I don't necessarily feel, oh, that was crap, this is the real deal. I don't get that at all. I think this is so desirable because of its heritage, and not really, in this case anyway, because it sounds or plays or feels so much better than a modern one. But like I said, I'm a complete newbie to this. I'm sure there are nuances to this, so I'm just completely missing, and I would accept that. In the type of guitar that I play, and the level of ability that I have, and the level of guitar appreciation, I guess, that I'm ever likely to have, rather than songwriting kind of appreciation, I wouldn't myself be going out to spend that much money on this. It's not making me feel that way, but I do appreciate that it's a beautiful, rare, wonderful thing. So there you go, a 1968 Gibson 330, pretty amazing. So if you've watched this far, I say thanks. If you have and you've enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Throw any comments below if you think I'm missing the fundamental core of what this is. I'm more than open to hearing what it is I'm missing and how I'm missing it, and how to like maybe approach this differently in the future. But I've really enjoyed playing it, and it's been a nice experience to be able to do this. But yeah, it's not. I'm not getting any supernatural sort of experience of it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video again soon. And thanks very much to Dan for loaning it to me. Take it easy. Bye bye.